We're live?
We're live.
That's my
You're not in a sauna. You're in your closet. I love it.
I'm in my Bardo.
Wes, so nice to see you, homie.
Nice to see you too, man. I don't have my sign. Welcome anybody to the Western Variety Show. Today we have awesome guests, Average-Gypsy. They're going to tell you all about awesome things. Danielle, Joshua. Hey, introduce yourselves real quick, and then I'll make some announcements.
All right. Hi, I'm Danny, and this is Josh.
Hi.
And we are Average-Gypsy, and we are currently in Ibiza right now.
Ibiza!
So, Ibiza, very exciting.
Just slide that in there. Nobody be jealous. Just slide that in there.
Don't be jealous. Just join us.
Yeah, come on over.
But we're gonna get it. Yeah, exactly. Getting teleport going. We're gonna get into that in just a second. Real quick, couple announcements, and we'll take your announcements as well from you guys. Kelly. But real quick at the beginning, you give a couple announcements. So probably, well, they're in no particular order. But I've got my Game On tour kicking off in San Francisco at Monarch on October 21st. So that is coming up, and that would be the first date of that tour, which is probably gonna be like a little mini tour kind of thing. That's the plan anyway. But then again, that's how the last one started out, and it ended up way more than that. But shooting for 5 to 10 really cool dates, interesting places, and we're gonna bring the jellyfish along to some of them from the album cover or the game track album cover, all that stuff. Anyway, not to get too way crazier into there. Hey, shout out to this dude, Eric Mold, sending swag over here, and I have the sticker handy, so I thought I'd just throw that out there. And that's that. And along the lines of the Game On tour and the game and what that's all related to, the music from that is there'll be some swag. We're going to do a cool mix CD, full color kind of thing. I wouldn't say old school, but we will do full color when Mike did the album thing last year. And on that note, for any of the actual gamers that have played that game, Tabletop Racing, the download content pack number two is out last week while I was at Burning Man, and it has 10 additional songs that are included with that. They get opened up with that in the game and all that stuff. So really excited about that. Go check out Tabletop Racing or Playrise Digital, their website, the game maker out of Liverpool. It is out on PlayStation, PS4, Steam, and Xbox coming soon. So that's it for my announcements. No fancy sponsors today. Tea people, hey, throw me some money. They're not really an official sponsor, but I do like their sugar-free tea. And this, I had to get the rest of my outfit on. In case for anybody, I was like this for the whole week at Burning Man. What's up, y'all?
Yeah, you wore that at Burning Man. Awesome.
Yeah, I have like three that I interchange, but yes, I took that. Anyway, rock this thing along with my Camp Charlie, my Burning Man camp. And back to you guys. That's my announcements. Do y'all have any announcements before we just hang out and do our thing? Any events coming up? Anything you're doing over there? Anywhere?
What are you guys doing over there?
We just dropped a new track yesterday or 2 days ago now. It's kind of hard with the time change and as far as the traveling we did to get here. But I think it was yesterday.
First
It
world.
was yesterday, yeah. Yeah, so we just dropped a new track. It's called Witchcraft, and it's for free download on SoundCloud. Get it, listen to it. And yeah, shows here. We're playing in Granada. We're playing at Colombo Club.
Yeah, next Thursday.
Next Thursday. They're doing a little Canadian connection, so we're playing with Carlos Bag Beats and Abstract Sonnets out here, and we've got some other things in the works. Hopefully, we'll be playing down in Barcelona as well. That's so we're playing on the 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we have a big Halloween show coming up with Tribe Called Red in Kamloops, October 28th.
You guys are crazy.
29. We're really bad with dates.
Well, we always
I only threw in one date. I only threw in one event date. I feel like I should throw in another. Hey, Kansas City, next Friday at the Riot Room. That's the one I forgot. That's the next one. Kansas City, Riot Room. Me and Surreal and some other cool people. Check it out, Kansas City, folks. And anywhere within an hour and a half, you must show up. Um, hey, hey, Average Gypsy, on your just so I make sure people can find you. I just on SoundCloud I know that you're Average-Gypsy. Anywhere else that people could go to find all the cool stuff that goes on with you?
Yeah, we've got our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's all just
Average
Gypsy.
Yeah.
All Average Gypsy.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, on that note, please explain how you got your name.
So when we first started DJing, and Josh taught me to DJ, by the way, he named me as well. My first DJ name was Neon Gypsy. And his DJ name before, he's been DJing for how many, 15 years?
16 now, yeah.
16 years now, and his name was Average Citizen. So when we formed a duo, we just sort of merged our names together, so that became Average Gypsy.
I like it. Do y'all like the Average Gypsy name? All other things aside, do you like the name better than either of the other names before you merge them?
Yeah.
Yeah. I dig it. I love it.
I think it's like they were all cool before, and then you just kind of mixed them all together, and there you go.
Yeah, they're cool. I mean, Average Citizen, definitely the farthest thing that I am from, but it's kind of more of a joke. That's how I.
You don't like
got
to
the
take
name.
anything too seriously.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Well, and you have not taken anything too seriously since I have known you. I will say real quick for anybody, the way that I ran across you fine folks and DJ talents was, I believe, if I get this right, I'm pretty sure, I definitely know the first time I met you in person was in Canada at the Electric Love Festival, the first one, right?
Yes.
2015, yeah.
Yeah, 2015, and then of course we hung out and had more shenanigans at 2016 this year. That was awesome. And then also saw you down here in San Diego, DJing at one of the, I think it was a Camp Charlie either fundraiser or some kind of unicorn-related party, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Spin.
Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome. That was a really good party. It was fun. DJ Dan was good, yeah.
I enjoyed that. That's the first time I think I heard, well, no, I heard y'all play at Electric Love, but that was the first time I heard you play where it wasn't like the sunrise set over the river there in Team Fishing Village. And we all know how sets, it was awesome, but we all know, you know, the purpose of sets at 6 a.m. when the sun's coming up.
Yeah. Keep them going.
Slightly different than the 2 a.m. or, you know, 1 to 3 a.m. slot at Spin.
Yeah, we definitely enjoyed our set a lot more this year, I think. It was better time slot, and, you know, Electric Love had probably at least double the people this year, so that was really good.
Yeah, I think so. I really enjoyed that. Hey, along those lines, y'all do a lot of work for that. Maybe, like, what's I'm not, I mean, from your perspective and what y'all do, what's your involvement with the Electric Love Festival and just Canada and, you know, the BC, Vancouver area in general?
Well, we sort of, there's a group of us, about like 10 of us, that started Electric Love, and so we kind of all brought it together and molded it from the ground up. I do the social media for Electric Love, and Josh runs one of the main stages. So, but we meet once a week, and there's a big group of us that kind of come together, and you know, Josh has been throwing parties for a long time, but as a team we're fairly new together, so we're kind of, you know, teasing out the odds and ends and putting it together. It was interesting this year going from a one-day festival to a full weekend festival, so there's definitely lots of loose ends, but we were all really, really happy with the way that it turned out, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the city, in Vancouver, we throw shows. Maybe you can talk about yours.
Yeah, I've been throwing hip-hop shows for a long time, too, about 10 years, and I mean, my show is the queen of Electric Love. She, you know, it's her brainchild, but me and my show have been doing shows, I guess, probably together for, I'd say, about 8 years, so, you know, we've been friends for about 10 years, throwing shows together for about 8, so, yeah, she's the queen of it all, and we kind of, like Danny said, you know, about 10 of us come together and make it all happen. But yeah, you know, in the city we do lots of like hip-hop stuff and some DJ stuff, but last couple of years we've been really focusing on our music and Average-Gypsy and steering a little bit more away from the actual promoting aspect of the business and, working on us.
Well, that actually, I think that helps me understand a little bit. I know we talked a little last summer, maybe it was, I think, about doing going along with a hip hop show. It was in the U.S. and maybe Canada as well. Is that kind of related to some of the other stuff that you are or were involved in there in the hip hop arena of things?
Yeah, I mean, the reason that we went on that is definitely from the connections from my booking agent and one of my friends, and yeah, it was all just because being involved in the hip hop scene, the reason that was able to happen. So, that was that was interesting, but it was good for us because we booked our Average-Gypsy shows on the side and just kind of DJ'd for them, and that's what it came from for sure. Is those connections.
Well, tell me about it. Like, what were you doing? Tell me about what you're doing, like with the hip hop aspect of that show. Like, I know that's not Average-Gypsy related, like house music. I heard you play, but
we DJing for them. So
push play buttons, pretty much.
Play.
So it's
like,
just
like the warm up, like the startup people for their live show, like that kind of thing.
No, we were actually DJing for the headliner. It was just like it was a set show. Everything was set. Play the track, stop the track, play the track. Back to it, like just
they'd be like drop this track and
yeah,
and drop it. Kind of thing.
So it was more just to go along for the experience and then to be able to be on the whole tour and then along the way pick up our own shows, which worked out for us. So that's really why we took it. It's not really our thing, but we did it just to get out there and ride on a tour and get our own tour at the same time. So it worked out well. It's cool, I guess. I don't think we'll do it again.
It was
awesome. That's awesome. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of times, as you know, like, I mean, regardless of what level somebody's at, a lot of times, certainly cutting their teeth or getting their way out there, to tour and meet people or just, go places and meet people. Of course, they a lot of times, it's just coming, whatever your day job is, when that takes you somewhere, you try to figure it out, right? I mean, that's common. So I think it's interesting that I just thought it was really interesting that it's almost like an in-between. Like, it's not like it's really your day job, but it's like you're on this music tour unrelated to kind of maybe your passion, but then, able to take that, at least leverage that and take that into consideration. I don't know if did you know that that's how, you remember John H., rest in peace, but you remember him from Fortnite.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but that's how he got, that's how he like exploded. I don't know if you knew that.
No. I didn't know that. No.
I knew John way before Fort Knox 5, and he took a tour. It sort of came through his involvement with like Steve Raskin, who was part of Fort Knox 5, and when Raskin was in this group, maybe still around, but I don't think they're actively doing anything. But Thunderball, I don't know if you remember that, but that was Raskin's like solo project, I think, and he's like at least to the extent that I know Steve, and I just saw him, at Burning Man and stuff, but he was a huge, James Bond and all that kind of culture type fan. So, and a graphic designer, whatever. Anyway, so he did this Thunderball project as music and an album, and it was really good, but very different than Fort Knox 5. And so he was involved with the people from Thievery Corporation and 18th Street Lounge. That was the whole squad that I was like involved with when I lived in DC. And so anyway, somehow through some of that stuff, it might have been through the guys in Thievery or the or something, John ended up meeting some of the people from the Black Eyed Peas. So they were like, yo, we need a DJ, to come play like hip hop and funk for Black Eyed Peas, like the tour and after parties and stuff. So if you go dig back, it's probably more than 10 years ago, but if you went and dug back through like the Black Eyed Peas summer tours, so John like hopped on the bus and went on tour with Black Eyed Peas for like, I don't know, 120 days, 4 months. And then everything just went crazy, like he learned a lot and did a lot with DJing. He was good before anyway, but like you would know, like even if you go on something that's push play or whatever is not maybe your thing, you still learn a lot, meet a lot of people, see how they act, see how they handle tour things and production and people and fans and all that, right? So
yeah, for sure. That's cool. Yeah, the first time I actually saw Fort Knox 5 with Thunderball as well, it was like, God, it must have been 10 years ago, something like that, at Plaza Nation. So a long time ago. They don't even throw parties there anymore. So
yeah. So you're at least familiar though with what I was talking about. So I'm almost positive it was Black Eyed Peas. for some crazy reason, it popped into my head that it might have been Gwen Stefani, but I think it was Black Eyed Peas. But nonetheless,
Either way.
nonetheless, it was somebody on a huge level, basically, doing pop tunes and cool at the time, whatever. So I think it's awesome that people get.
That sounded way more fun than what we. At least you got to play some after parties for them instead of actually pushing play for rap artists.
Yeah.
But hey, no regrets. We had
No, it was fun.
It was a good experience. But
What cities did you go to? What cities did you go to?
oh wow, we did
Chicago,
St. Louis, we did
Davenport,
Miami, Atlanta, a couple small places in
Nashville.
Georgia. Oh yeah, Nashville. Yeah, some fun places for sure.
What city was your favorite Average-Gypsy gig aside from the hip hop stuff?
What was that?
I think Chicago was
Chicago, yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago's definitely.
I mean, actually, you know what? That was actually the same tour that we did San Diego. So definitely San Diego.
San Diego
The
was
night of the
better.
Charlie Camp Charlie party. That was definitely our best night. But because it was the same tour, we did that, and then we popped over and met up with everyone. Yeah. So that. But if we were to say the actual hip hop part, I'd say Chicago.
Yeah.
Davenport was really good too. It's just small town, but really cool people, and they just gave us so much love. So that was cool. Atlanta is pretty crazy. It's very big, huge place, but definitely Chicago, I guess.
Yeah, we loved Chicago. We actually had a couple days there where we got to tour around, and we ended up linking up with a photographer, and we did a photo shoot there, and he took us in one day to all the outskirts and showed us all around everything, so that was really cool. Chicago's the energy there is really heavy, but there's so much culture. It was really interesting.
Yeah, we're so used to the West Coast, right? So it's so
Yeah.
different for us.
Oh, jeez.
Very clean city. I couldn't believe how clean Chicago was. The streets are so clean there. It was nuts. No garbage.
Well, usually I think
Point that out because Vancouver is pretty dirty.
the only thing you hear about is murders and stuff. Unfortunately.
I heard that's bad, but that's more the outskirts. Downtown was very chill, very cool. So the outskirts of Chicago, yeah, we heard.
They did tell us though, they're whatever you do, don't leave the downtown core.
Yeah.
And the first thing we did was leave the downtown core with a bunch of local DJs we met. I went to some
Underground
after
party,
hour
yeah.
underground party. They're don't do that. But it was.
Did we tell you our DJ name? Did we hand you our card or sticker?
Yeah, Chicago was fun. But
Hey, how many interesting thing some people that listen to these conversations, shenanigans, believe it or not, are actually sometimes listening, that they might get some interesting tips or good advice about things in music and whatnot. And since you have toured in a couple different ways and then just played gigs in a couple different ways around, outside of your home area in Vancouver, I think it's interesting to ask, how much has things changed for you in terms of, well, really any aspect of music after you started to get out of your regional area more? What, kind of that experience. If I made any sense at all, how has your music?
I would say it's changed a lot. I mean, it's just, inspirational wise, it's crazy because everywhere you go has a different, their scene, whether they're into the same stuff as you or not, they're still got some sort of different take or aspect on it. So you always get some new inspiration, which is great. I could tour forever just for that fact that you get so much inspiration from each place, and also too after you tour and then you come home, it's it's cool. You can bring new stuff home for people, and the love is there as well. So
Yeah, there's so much talent out there.
yeah.
The market is quite saturated because there's so many good DJs and music producers. So it's nice to go and tap into all those different little pockets and see what's going on over here. So definitely we've learned a lot about new music in different places. But I think more than anything, what we love is just connecting with the people and hanging out with them and seeing what they're up to and how they hang and how they do their music and how they produce. And so
And just meeting local DJs from all these different cities, and they do the local thing. It's cool to get inspiration from that for sure.
Yes. So you put out, correct me if I'm wrong, but have you you put out some releases or music before you really kind of got out of the Vancouver area, or what order did that come in?
Yes. Yeah, it was just.
I guess we put out one or two.
We released our first track before we went on our first tour.
Yeah, one track. Yeah. So not much.
Well, no, but maybe did some dance or other things like that. So one of my questions was going to be like, if you find your actual music making process or your enjoyment in your own music, to be better after you get to go kind of around places where you see new people, meet new people, and get some of that feedback like face to face. I mean, I've certainly found that for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even years and years and years ago, I'd go to Shambhala, and I was, just DJing back then. I wasn't producing, but I'd come home and I'd just be so inspired. And you definitely get a lot more inspired when you're out doing stuff. I mean, we're inspired at home too, but yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's just that you make, the process is a bit of making it in a box, and then it's like you can go play it locally. Shows are always different, or quite often different when you go elsewhere to play, because you're, if nothing else, you're usually treated as a guest if you're not the headliner or something. At least you're, it's just a different situation, right? And so, I also find, for me, I also find the feedback I get from, supporters that are not in my local area here in Southern California. I also find it, I don't know, it seems more engaging and more rewarding to me for both of us, after traveling and meeting people, whether it's in the Carolinas or New York or on the East Coast or somewhere in the middle or Canada, whatever. I don't know. I think, and I guess where I'm headed with that a little bit is just like, for anyone listening, like, I think it's really important, whatever you can do to go a little further from, geographically from wherever you currently are, it's worth trying to figure out how to do that, because then I think all sorts of new ideas open up across. If you're making music, those ideas will you'll be inspired there. If you're strictly DJing, same thing. But I think that connection, like I think you said it, Danny, that connection with people is really what stays with you. And then oddly, you may not expect it, but some of it stays with you for many years to come. Like, it's not, you meet some people and maybe you never see them again, or they never go out again or whatever. And then others you meet, this conversation is a perfect example. Well, it's a couple of years now, right? So.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's potential. Definitely. I agree.
What about Ibiza? You guys are there now. What are you doing right now? Like, what were you doing before you came onto the show?
Bring it.
Today we just beach day, went down for a walk on the beach, some pizza and beers and stuff. But last night we saw art department, and I don't know who else was there. It was really good vibes though. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, at DC 10.
Really good. DC
but we
10.
had we traveled for 26 hours, took 4 flights, and we got here and we were like, okay, we should just go to bed. But then we couldn't help ourselves.
Yeah,
we gotta go. We gotta see what's
gonna
going on. We gotta check things out. And
yeah.
even because we got here at nighttime, so I just still felt when I woke up this morning or this afternoon, I still felt like I hadn't really seen the town yet because it's dark out. Yeah. But
you're troopers. What time is it there now?
It's 9:30.
9:30. Yeah.
Oh, so you're gonna do this and then bust a nap and go out again?
No naps.
No sleep.
Oh,
No sleeping.
Yeah, last night was really good. Like, we've only gone out once so far since we've been here, but the house was really good last night. Our department set was amazing, and
really good house music.
Yeah, going to see Tiny Tempa tomorrow and Chillionaire, Sammy Porter. So we're excited about that. Some good names for sure.
Is it the first time you've been there?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I've never been there. How do you properly pronounce it? Do you know?
Ibiza.
I'm Canadian, so I just say Ibiza.
I'm from America, so I just say Ibiza.
Yeah, America.
I'm sure it's wrong.
Yeah, we're wrong.
How long are you there for?
Yeah.
Monday. We're here till Monday, and then we hit 4 other cities in Spain, 3 other cities.
Formentera, Granada, Barcelona.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
nice.
I have absolutely no idea what that place is like other than clubbing, but I can see the street behind you. Are you kind of on your balcony?
Yeah,
we are.
and it's a full moon tonight
It's
too.
a full moon tonight.
Ooh, we get the full moon.
Are you close to the water there, or what? What's going on there? Are you close to the water? I mean, I guess everything's close to the water. I don't know.
Yeah.
You can see
Like a block, 2
behind
blocks
us,
from the beach.
that big
I
building
swear,
there.
it looks like
It looks like South
Right
Beach.
behind that.
it looks like Miami, like modeled
like-
itself
yeah, it looks
after
like South
the-
Yeah, it's kind
It
of
does remind me of
like
Miami.
today when we were walking down the beach. I was like, it's like Vegas, but with a beach, basically.
Okay.
And better music. Good
Better
music.
music and really
You
good.
find is there more variety there in the music? Because whenever I go to Miami, I can't say that I'm overwhelmed with the variety of music. But
Ask us that question next week.
I'd compare it to Miami more the look than the music. Like it's definitely different music. But we've only been one night, right?
We've only been there 24 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
But if you
Just in a
look
few
at all
days.
the like flyers and posters everywhere, it's like
it's all house. It's our
House
vibe
music.
for sure.
we
Yeah.
love house music.
Kelly,
So.
when Kelly told me you were going to be there, I thought you'd been there like a week already. I didn't know you were going to fly in and then hop on deal with,
I know
Yeah.
they're,
deal with me at 11 a.m. my time.
I know
Yeah.
they're talking about coming in like or doing this right as it came in, and you're thinking, oh man, I've been on Flight International thing, and you're like, the last thing you want to do in the world is get on a show and be like fresh, super
Yeah.
fresh.
Now I feel like I totally owe y'all like a huge favor at some point in the future.
No,
It's
no.
fun. We're good. We're on vacation.
Yeah.
What are you drinking there?
Heineken's.
Can't quite see it. A Heineken.
Little mini Heinekens.
Well, I'd also like to know if there's what's going on with the if the craft brew scene. I don't know. Do they drink a lot of beer in other countries? I mean, they definitely drink a lot of beer in Europe, but I don't know if
Heineken.
in those areas are they as crazy about beer as North Americans are.
I don't think so. I don't
Here?
know. Like, I feel like anyway in Vancouver, anyways, it's all about like microbreweries and everyone's drinking their specialty beers. It's like a thing,
That's
a
big in
hipster
Vancouver,
thing
yeah.
in Vancouver for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But here, I feel like people drink a lot of hard alcohol here, like rum, lots of rum.
Or just like Coronas, Heinekens, just like
Like
standard, you know.
Caipirinha,
Lighter beers and then maybe wine. I remember drinking a lot of wine.
Lots of wine, yeah. Lots.
Vino Tinto.
We'll do a few wine tours.
Yes.
What
Well,
are you?
What else? What am I doing? Huh? I'm sorry. What? I just ate lunch. I just ate a
What are you
coffee.
drinking? I see a little drink.
Kombucha.
Kombucha?
Oh, it's only it's like 12. It's like 12. It's lunch for me. I'm drinking like honest tea.
It's 12 for him, and it's
That was my joke.
30 here. Honestly,
That was my joke this morning because I don't know if y'all are. I mean, you're not you're not large and ordinarily large people, so I assume you, to some degree, watch what you eat. So,
Yeah.
and I'm only saying that because I make a conscious effort to, reasonably eat well, and in between binges and things like that. It's especially on the road.
in between.
The point I was going to make was that so I walked over to this, and I felt like this was a little different in Canada, but it might have just been because of where I was. But I walked over to the sort of liquor store / bodega near my office here in Pacific Beach, and out of there must be 200 different beverages on the wall, like in the coolers, and this is the only. And shout out to Honest Tea. This is the only one with no sugar in it.
Oh.
Shout out to 200 beverages. Yeah.
Honesty, I like that. I love a good pun. I'm all about fun.
So anyway, seems to be the theme. Seems to be the theme these days. Yeah. So anyway, what else going on? What's happened since Electric Love? What's the road been for you guys? I drove back. My trip was, as you know, I drove my trailer up there. It was an awesome trip. I took like a whole month to go do that.
Oh, that's so good. We loved having you there.
Love having you there, yeah. What's really cool about After Electric Love is actually Henry Pope spent a week, and then, we made a track with him.
And Griff,
so,
Vitamin
yeah.
G.
Yeah, so we made a track with Henry Pope, so that was really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, we know Griff. Griff is a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, Griff's
That's a fellow unicorn.
Yeah, I guess that could
Yep.
be announcement for us. We'll have a new track with Henry Pope called Hoodpecker coming out.
Should be on the next couple of weeks.
It's ready. It's all ready to go. We're just kind of figuring out when we're going to release it. So
yeah, that was really fun. It was really cool to collab with him and getting to actually do it in person, not just all over Splice, which we ended up finishing it with. But it was cool to start it together for the first week and just hang at home.
And then we were supposed to play a show, a festival called High Society in Kamloops, and we blew the transmission on our car on the way there, missed our set, and took an $800 tow from Princeton back to Vancouver.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was fun. And then, I don't know if I should talk about this. But
yes.
Yeah, talk about all of it.
Now you have to.
We gave our car to who we thought was a mechanic of ours to fix it, and we paid him $2,000 up front to fix our transmission, and he has since dropped off the face of the earth, and our car is now reported stolen. We're like, is this a joke? Like we had to put the police put an APB out for our car, so we don't have a car right now. Which is,
but hey, we're in Ibiza. We don't need
a car, but it's so funny. And they're like, why are you laughing right now?
It only took 30
What else?
minutes.
Don't know how else to react at this moment.
Yeah, nothing better to do than laugh at everything.
Yeah. And then we
What kind of car are we talking here?
Call them out.
Acura.
A TL, Acura TL.
Yeah.
The sound system in the car is worth more than the car itself. That's what we're worried about.
The sound system is worth more. I'm looking that up right now. Hey, Agent 137. Hey, by the way, I forgot to introduce Kelly at the beginning. Y'all already know her, so I sometimes forget when it's kind of just like more just friends getting on to chat. But yes, Kelly Agent 137 for the delayed introduction for any listeners, and he guys does cool shit too. Yo.
Yeah.
In New York, I think someone made a comment. One of y'all made a comment. I think that she looked like she was in her closet.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but Kelly, tell them about where you are and why it looks like a closet.
Okay, I am definitely not in my closet. However, I can see where you would think that because of these doors. I live on a boat, and I am also kind of a gypsy of some sort because it's my own little my gypsy wagon. But this is my bedroom. There's my cat right there, Bass Hector. He's chilling. And, yeah, I mean it really is. Like, here's my bathroom. I'm kind of in a closet, but yeah, I'm in Brooklyn, and I'm on the water on the ocean. So I think we're all sitting on an ocean of some sort right now, are we not?
We are.
Awesome.
Yeah, Wes is on the ocean too. Oh my goodness. So yeah,
I thought sauna at first.
We thought you were in a sauna.
Both.
Is she in a sauna? What is going on right now?
Bass Nectar.
Yeah.
Go with Bass Nectar right now?
That would be awesome.
I'm sure you found your cat.
You can play on the top of your boat.
If I was going to be a powered DJ duo, then I guess Bass Nectar would be good. I don't know if he'd like to have a cat named Bass Hector with him too, but whatever. It is what it is.
Hey, I'm still interested in this Acura. Is it TL? What year was it?
It's a 2000.
2000?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you find it, let us know.
And because the next weekend we had to go, we got booked to play Summer Bass, which was awesome, by the way.
And Summer Under Bender.
Summer Under Bender as well, yes. Both in the same weekend. Awesome festivals. So we had no car, so our friend was very nice to lend us her drop-top Mustang. So that was fun. We got to rip around in that all weekend, which was really nice.
But it was a crazy weekend because it was like the most traveling we had to do, and it was all within BC, but we had to drive. We played Summer Under Bender, which is put on by Women's Studies, Nathan. I'm not sure. I think you might have met him at Electric Love. He's an awesome local.
Yeah.
Love
Wicked
Nathan.
soul, too.
So he puts on Summer Under Bender, which is in Hope, so it's about 2 hours from Vancouver. And luckily our other friends were DJing too, so we got a ride with them, went, played our set, drove home after, got home at like 7 a.m., slept for a couple hours, went to a wedding in our hometown,
Yeah.
and then we were supposed to get picked up from the wedding to go all the way to the next festival we were playing just outside of the Soyuz, which was like a 5-hour drive. And then the girl messaged us while we're getting out of the chapel, and she's like, I can't come get you, but I've left the keys on the tire of my car for you, and it's way out in Delta. So we had to take like a $70 taxi way out of the city to go and pick up this Mustang. She left us her like Mustang convertible. Yeah. Thank God it was a convertible because we were so tired. So we just like drove all the way up to our next show. So. Yeah. And yes, now we still don't have a car, but luckily in Vancouver you can get around like transit and biking and walking everywhere because it's pretty small. So we've been fine, but it's like really. It's
a funny situation. Even the police were like, "This is weird."
Well, I might have because I stolen car record stuff, and I was looking to see if it had been listed in some things. Kelly, do you have that link I sent you? I just sent it over to you. Kelly's gonna, I think. Tell me if this is it.
I think that what just happened is, did you guys get all glitchy?
A little bit,
yeah.
Oh yeah, I think when I was trying to pull it up. All right, let me see if I can share my screen, and if it gets glitchy again. All right, screen share. Can you see me?
That's it.
Is that pretty much it?
Oh God. Man, you found it, bro.
You wagon.
That's the gypsy.
What's up?
Oh yes. Oh, I love you guys.
Hey, what's the speaking of Canada? What's kind of the? There's a lot of great parties. I mostly, I guess, pay attention to the West Side. But you know, I've in just a few short years, like I've developed friendships with, you and people in your area, and then kind of going over towards Calgary, and not so much all the way over to Toronto and whatnot. But it just seems like there's a really great scene there. I'm kind of curious, like from your perspective, kind of how that evolved there. I'm always interested in how the music scenes evolve in different like regions, and I don't know much about that one.
What are you saying exactly? Sorry.
How did like the music scene in like Vancouver, BC, that area, like how did that evolve? Like what's kind of the history there, like in terms of electronic music? To the extent you know.
Like you mean how it's changed over the last?
A lot. Well, there's a lot. It just seems like there's quite a bit, and it seems like the party goers are like just really chill and into all kinds of music and that sort of stuff. You don't see that everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely changed in the last, since I've been DJing the last 16 years. It used to be like kind of, small underground raves, and then it went to like, big 5,000-6,000 person raves, and now it's turned into like things like, Shambhala, but then also stuff like Pemberton too, where it's like, I think they got like over 100,000 people went through it this year. So I mean, we never had stuff like that back in the scene, when I started anyway. So it's evolved quite a bit.
Yeah, like in the summertime in BC, there's like several music festivals every weekend, and then there's tons and tons of shows happening in Vancouver too. Like people, like I remember growing up, like you used to go, you would go out to a nightclub just to go out with your friends or whatever, and now you don't go out unless you're going to see a DJ or to watch a show. So that's definitely.
And you can see someone every day of the week too. It's like it's crazy. It's flooded. Vancouver's flooded.
It's hard to get people out though because Vancouver is quite small.
Yeah.
So it's.
Well, I'd say it doesn't have. It's not. It's like a million. It's like 1.5 million or something. Million people, something like that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's 2 million. The whole, but everything like Abbotsford, Surrey, like the whole area. But I think Vancouver is about 1 million. But we're spoiled. Like it's you could literally go see someone every night. So even for promoters, it's rough for them too because everybody's got something, and maybe 3 acts on one night happens quite often. It's not like it's changed a lot in the last 10 years for sure.
Well, I was never in a band. I was never in a band like a rock band, but I suspect that it's probably very similar to, kind of like how at one point I'm sure each kind of rock is very like. Underground and exclusive to a degree and all that, and then it explodes. And there's at least some pop element to it, whether or not that's what everyone's into, but it's there, and so that huge scale gets more people in it to throw events, make money, et cetera, right? And so then you end up with this glut, because I hear this in a lot of places, and San Diego, it's probably true as well. I that there's a lot of events, so it may dilute the number of people that would go to any one event, because
Definitely, yeah.
you can go to something every day of the week, right? So clearly, if you're out on Monday, even just Monday, you may not, maybe that's your blow for the week. You may not go out on Friday or Saturday to a larger event. So.
Yeah. It's not like everyone can afford go to every single thing that they want to go to, especially in Vancouver, one of the most expensive places in the world to live. Period. So there's that.
When I lived back in DC, like pre like super internet era, like we are right now, definitely. I mean, you could. Well, and I would even just say, like, let's call it vinyl days, right? So when I lived in DC, I mean, there was basically one event a week. I mean, that was kind of it. Like, there was a couple others on the fringe, doing typical, more like, I think it was called like Euro. I don't know if Euro trash is probably not the right name for I just remember that term, but it was like a, really fast kind of almost happy hardcore trancey music. Like, you'd find that in some clubs in DC, but really in terms of, electronic music, anything that was not playing the exact same set as last week, or a touring DJ or whatever, it was like one party. That was it. So, everybody, kind of like you're saying, I think similar, probably similar, I guess, in all cities, I guess.
Yeah. Now I think in DC, I still get all the invites. I probably would say there's maybe 4 or 5 events a night. Maybe not Monday and Tuesday, but most of the time on the weekends, there's usually a lot of events, not just Club 5.
Yeah.
Well, outside of music, if you don't mind sharing, I'm kind of interested, because I actually never asked the question. Maybe it was too loud. I don't know. What do you guys do? I know you've been involved in music a long time, but what do you do other than that? If there's anything you wanted to kind of chat about, or I'm always interested in what people do. Like I'm a engineer, for example, pre music life. I said I have a degree in engineering. Like that's kind of like my background, school wise, and all that good stuff. And also probably why I tinker with everything.
I'm currently doing my master's degree in sports psychology. So I've been an athlete my whole life. So I played soccer and basketball in university, and I also played lacrosse and basically every sport that there is. And so, I just always knew that psychological processes were such a huge part of sport, and was something I always wanted to get into. So I'm doing my master's degree. I'm writing my thesis right now, and I work with athletes. So I'm working with the UBC women's soccer team right now. So I do mental skills training with them. So goal setting.
Yeah, that's why it was popping in my head. Partly is because I think I saw you post something.
Yeah.
Like it looked like a picture of a team, and that one caught my eye because I was like, "Oh wait, what?"
What? Yeah, so it's so funny when I talk to like my supervisor or my profs at school. They're always like, "What are your career goals, Danny?" Because they know that I'm a music producer, and I'm like, "Don't pigeonhole me. Like, I can do whatever I want to do. I can do it all." So yeah, it's funny. But they complement each other well.
Thursday therapy session with the high school girls. Saturday,
right.
Exactly, and that's how it is too.
Yeah,
I think it's awesome. What about you, Josh? Any?
I mean, honestly, for me, it's all been music. Like, it mainly was promoting, and I, trying to do the DJing as much as I could. But last 15 years, mainly just throwing the concerts, right?
Yeah.
So dabbled a little bit in other things like sales and stuff, and I owned a little vape store. So stuff like that. But honestly, my passion and love has always been. Computer's gonna die, so we're plugging it in. Always been music, So I like promoting. It's okay, but I've always really just wanted to make the music and play it, and now we're getting our opportunity. And
well, I mean, promoting is definitely the music business, but it's a far cry from producing and DJing.
Definitely. Totally different world.
At least for me, and it sounds like for you too, in terms of enjoyment and passion side.
Yeah, and I enjoyed it, but I enjoy not doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of things I enjoyed, but I wouldn't say I was losing sleep over what I was going to do next with it, or passionate about it per se. I mean, I think we've all been in it a little while, so you're bound to have done something other than just play records. If you've been around as long as we have. In that regard, I DJ'd hip hop for a while. Like that's why I thought your hip hop tour thing was interesting, because I think a lot of people brush with it at some point. I mean, heck, who doesn't like a little bit of hip hop if nothing else, right?
Yeah.
It's such a formative
roots.
every.
Yeah, it definitely influences a lot of our producing. For sure.
Like we love G House and we listen to a lot of rap and stuff too. So.
And we go to hip hop shows too.
Yeah.
Like we love all music.
What's your favorite hip hop show that you've been to?
Oh God. Quite the question. When I brought Nas out, I'd say probably the best hip hop show I've seen live.
I think when we brought Wu-Tang was the best.
Oh yeah, we did Wu-Tang. Oh, fuck. Yeah. Yeah, you can't ask that question. We're throwing.
Oh, we can ask anything here.
Wu-Tang was good, but
we just don't necessarily expect answers.
I got a lot.
You can talk hip hop for hours. Yeah. How much time you got?
Oh, don't ask him that.
Google just switched their whole Hangouts sort of. Not the technology really, but just the whole way that they deal with it and stuff. So they've got some pretty good new stuff. Like, for example, very simple. Now there's a huge clock that ticks down until you. Just simple things like that. So I think it was some response to maybe the Facebook Live branding, because I think now it's called Google. Is it called Google Live, Kelly, or YouTube Live now?
It's YouTube. Yeah, it's YouTube Live, and it's on your YouTube channel right now. So before you could only watch it through the Google Plus channel, and now you can watch it through YouTube. And I see some people in there. Hi. So it's a little bit more interactive and easier to do it, but I'll figure it out next time.
Well, we've given our fair share of feedback. It's been almost a year, maybe two, since I've been using the Hangouts and that stuff. So anyway, technology, because one of our goals is to pay nothing for our podcast technology. Tight budgets it enables. Oh well, back to hip hop though. Probably my favorite. I have not been to near as many as you, but definitely one of my favorites I ever saw was Tribe Called Quest while they were still originally together. They may do some stuff now here and there. I don't know, but
yeah, great show for sure.
That was definitely a great show. So, what's the oldest? I'm gonna date Josh and I now. What's the oldest what's your oldest favorite hip hop song you can remember? That was while you were growing up, not like some shit you learned about later.
Oh man, I don't know. While I was growing up, I mean, it's just so many. I guess I really liked Too Short when I was young. When I was 15, Short. And then I ended up getting to bring him out and hang out with him for a week. That was interesting. Hanging out with Too Short.
He's a favorite of mine. What is that guy like, dude?
He's Too Short. Just what you think. He's a little bit older now, but nothing's really changed. Little gray hair though. That's about it.
He's got to be 50.
That's not that old.
I don't care. I'm just saying he's got to be.
Yeah, something like that. I think he's 51 or 2 or something. But yeah, no, he's awesome. And the reason I got to hang out with him so long is because we did kind of a little mini tour, and I ran the whole thing, and I just went with him. And it was kind of weird because for some reason we didn't fly him to every place. We rented a limo bus, and I don't know why.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
But me and a few of my friends just limo bussed around with him in BC, so that was interesting. I don't know if he liked it so much, but yeah. One of the shows we did was at in a mansion party, in someone's basement. They built a nightclub in their basement, and that was one of the shows. That was pretty weird. He was kind of weirded out by that, but yeah, it was Too Short's really good. I guess old school stuff Too Short, Snoop, Dre. I'm very West Coast. You know, I love Big. I like the East Coast too.
He was definitely one of the first West Coast rappers that I was conscious of being West Coast.
Yeah.
I'm sure I heard others before that, but definitely in the sort of, you know, ghetto, explicit lyrics, you know, which got very big clearly at one point. He was definitely one of the first. I remember I can't remember which album, dude, but I have his most current album, and it's just so funny where he raps about, what does he rap about? Like the total number of hours or something that his whole career spans, or 16 albums.
His favorite word.
Yeah, that guy.
Well, that.
He makes the most normal sentences just sound cool.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, so, you know, that was cool. And, you know, even all the West Coast stuff is really cool growing up, 15, 16, listening to these guys. And then when I started doing the shows and bringing them out, like, I mean, God, the Dog Pound, like Dawes and Crumb, like homies with them now. I brought them out like 5 times, hung out with them a whole bunch, brought out Snoop, and like getting, you know, E40, Earl is so awesome, and getting to like, you know, grow up to this and then get to work with them is just so amazing, right? Like, that
I actually got to open for
cool.
E40
And
Waka
Waka
Flocka
Flocka.
and Snoop once
And
too.
Snoop, we opened for Snoop once too.
Well, that kind of makes sense that, you know, you really are into G House at this point. And I think anybody with a love of hip hop at some point is, you know, digging the new or it's not new, but the newer G House sound. You know, and I heard that in your single too. What about Witchcraft? How did that come about?
We were
We got Biggie in that one.
we were watching the movie Ant-Man, which is a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And it's like the first time that he like shrinks. Who's the actor in it?
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd, yeah.
Yeah.
The first time he like shrinks down into an ant in front of his 2 friends, and this guy's like, that's witchcraft. And then the other guy's like, this is the work of gypsies. And Josh and I just both looked at it, like we need that. And we like sampled, we recorded it, and we're like, that has to go in our next track. And then we were always wanting to put Biggie, Slicker Than Your Average, into one of our songs.
Yeah.
So we're like, well, let's just make it this one. And when we were first doing the song, we were just cracking up the whole time. We're like, this is so cheesy, like, Slicker Than Your Average. And then it's like, gypsies. So we actually thought it was really funny, but then we made it. I'm really happy with the way that that track turned out. It's by far our best. Our production, we're pretty new producing, so we're, you know, learning as we go along. We've got lots of help from producer friends that come and hang out with us and show us the ropes. So, but that one is like by far our best one.
That's awesome.
Do you mind if I play a little snippet of it?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, please hold.
Yeah.
I'm going to fast forward it a little bit. Let's get into maybe like a minute in. There we go. I dig it. You guys got to dance to it though.
The full moon is perfect. Where my witches at?
Dance party.
My gloves stick out.
Yes.
Oh yeah!
Crack it.
Okay. I think it's really good, and that's a free download on SoundCloud on their SoundCloud.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
And I hope, and I can only hope for you that it does as well as Too Short's Billboard history. Yeah, go buy Average-Gypsy. That's what we're saying. But I do think, well, a funny thing about Too Short, I got to read off some of these names because y'all are love it. You're like, these are his tracks that were strictly Billboard, as in the Billboard magazine Top 100, Hot 100, which is like the big chart, right? So The Ghetto, that was a peak at 42. That was 1991. I was looking at his like chart history because who goes other than maybe Jay-Z? Like who who's as underground as Too Short in a sense that he cusses in everything he makes, and then still had, which basically, you know, eliminates radio play in a lot of cases, right? So, you know, traditional anyway. So 91, he's got like a top, you know, a Hot 100 on Billboard. That's 20. How many years ago is that? That's so long ago I can't even do the math.
25, 26, 25.
That's a long time.
Yeah. No, my math is bad. I'm going to ask you to do quick math.
The ghetto. Well, I can't do math at all.
I was 11, so.
Yeah, and then he's got Invasion of the Flat Booty Bitches.
Don't tell me your age.
Then he's got,
I can't believe he was even on the 100 back then.
yeah, then he's got Getting It. That's 1996 on there. Cocktails, spelled Cocktail.
Classic. Come on. Cocktail.
Take That Monkey. What do you think the monkey is in that sentence?
You probably don't want to know.
DJ 1 through 7, could you Urban Dictionary monkey in the context of Too Short?
I probably don't want to.
I'm a Player. And then he's got, at least as far as this official Billboard listing, his last one was Money in the Ghetto. and I should note before anyone goes and looks for all these fine hits, I should note that every single one of these, no, 8 of the 10 I read have in brackets clean.
Okay, I'm gonna say that is referring to a woman's derriere.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. I would read you the lyrics, but I don't want to. Yeah, I really don't want to at all.
I'm very proud.
Maybe this should maybe be the new segment of the show, is having some poor victim that's watching this, you know, get on the mic and read the lyrics. Better yet, try to sing it.
Wait, what are you drinking now, Wes?
Yeah, what do you got now? You switched your
What you got
drink.
going on there? Does that have sugar in it?
Oh, I switched it up.
Ooh, mocha.
Yeah, you know, I didn't actually know it was that when I bought it across the street, but that's what it is.
Thank you.
Kona.
We just got a new drink too.
Oh,
Thanks to Lola Fine. Come say
Lola
hi, Lola.
Fine.
Come say hi.
You just
Say hi
have
to Lola Fine.
you just have a red button that you hit.
Lola. She's also an amazing DJ and music producer, Lola Fine. Check her out.
Come on in, please.
Come on in.
Oh, she left.
She left.
Our last track that is actually on iTunes right now, Love Is What You Need, we did with Lola. Come say hi.
Lola, introduce yourself.
You're singing.
Hi.
This is Lola Fine.
Nice. What's your DJ name?
That's your DJ name.
That is her DJ
Lola
name.
Fine.
Oh, right on. Where can people find you? Shout out. Where can people find you and go hear your music?
SoundCloud.com/LolaFine.
There you go.
Boom.
Now you know.
Thanks for the beers.
Thanks for the
Yeah,
beers.
thanks, Lola.
Love you. We dragged her to Ibiza with us.
Oh,
Oh.
I'm sure she was dragged there, right?
She was
Twist, you can drag me there anytime you want to.
You terrible, terrible friends.
Hey, it's Thursday. You can meet us for Friday if you leave now.
Yeah.
Oh, don't tempt
Hey,
me.
when are you coming back to San Diego? We're gonna have to do this with you sometime on regular time zone and share beers.
Yes.
Like that.
Yes. Yeah, we were going to go to LA for Halloween, but then we ended up getting that booking in Kamloops, so
Yeah.
we're going to go do that instead.
We played
but-
in LA last year for Halloween for
Yeah.
Angela Lima. Love her.
For who?
Angela Lima, she's an LA.
Oh yeah. She's a Camp Charlie. I think she's in Camp Charlie.
Yeah. So we DJ'd a warehouse at Mission, it was called, in LA last year
The
on
Mission,
Halloween.
yeah.
The Mission. That's actually how we met Griff.
I tried to. The way I know her, other than probably having seen her at camp at Burn, is I don't remember seeing her this year though. But anyway, the way I know her is because is my awkward attempt at trying to switch volunteer shifts with her, and And like when you don't really know somebody face to face, you know, you're trying to Facebook and coordinate and communicate something like that. It just kind of went down in flames. But I was trying to do it with like 10 people at once because I don't know if it's this way for everybody that goes to Burning Man, but probably if you're in a normal camp, it's probably pretty normal that you have to do some volunteer shifts, you know, during it, like kitchen or cleanup or building, or if you have an art car, you know, some shit with that or whatever. And so I've been very faulty my first 2 years. All 3 of my years have been with Camp Charlie, but I have not been a good, you know, unicorn citizen my first 2 years in terms of actually showing up for my volunteer shifts. And probably 50% of the people don't either, but that's the problem.
Yeah.
So like I felt like this year my goal was to make all my shifts, you know. So.
I mean, I did a shift for you.
I know, but that's my point. The point of being in a community is not to pay somebody else to do your mowing.
Yeah, don't tell anyone that. Uh-oh, you're in trouble now.
Yeah. Hey, have y'all been to Burning Man? Have you been to Burning Man?
No.
Either?
No, we were
This
gonna
was
go.
supposed to be our first year, yeah, actually.
2017.
Yes.
We're coming next year for sure. Camp Charlie we were going to be with you guys, but unfortunately,
No, fortunately, my sister.
This was fortunate.
Yeah.
I didn't mean fortunately.
My
Unfortunately,
sister
we didn't
had
go.
her first child.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she had a baby girl. Her name is Kenzie, and shout out to Kenzie. But so she was due on the actual day of the burn. So we had to, and we had 2 weddings that weekend as well. So
Yeah.
we had to not go. So we were a little bit heartbroken that we couldn't come to the burn because we've been wanting to go for so long. But
Next year, 100%.
Next year, 100%.
We're in.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we're excited.
That's awesome. Congrats. Yeah, I've decided that I need to block out 3 entire weeks of my life to go to Burning Man.
You need 3 months.
Sounds smart. 3 months. Yeah. Recovery, right?
3 entire weeks. It's like
yeah, it's a commitment.
So the Wednesday before,
Well,
I think
you started with Electric Love, though. You that was like the pre-burn, and when was that? 2 months ago? 3 months ago?
I almost got divorced this summer, and I'm not even married.
That's Kenzie.
Very cute.
Oh no. Oh, Kate wasn't happy, huh?
I almost got divorced, and I'm not even married. Yeah.
That's how you know the level of bad idea it is to go take off for 12 weeks or something. But I think I can handle. So my quick guide, because there's hardly any coverage post Burning Man of anything to do with Burning Man, I thought I will at least take a second to describe why I think 3 weeks is necessary. I believe, and to be a good camper, you got to try to go early access, you know, or they call it early entry or whatever they call it. Anyway, you get there, like you would leave, if you're in San Diego, for example, you would leave like the Wednesday before, take 2 days getting there from here, even though it's only like 12-hour drive. But crazy things always happen. Like this time I was driving up there and like there's this San Bernardino, there's forest fires. So it's like a 5-hour delay, you know, getting to Bishop, which is kind of the midway point from here. And you just don't plan on that. And then that stuff stresses you out. You get, you know, like whatever. And then it starts to become a rush, like getting there on time and all that. So it's like, I'm thinking you leave the Wednesday before, take 2 days, so you get in there early on Friday, you can bill for 3 days, you know, as a good citizen. And then, you know, of course you take the whole week, burn, do all that stuff. And then you get out of there. And this is the first year I went to Reno afterward, like to the Grand Sierra Resort and all that jazz. And that's a must do. Even if you don't go early, like I think that's a great place to go get all the dust off of you. And they're really friendly to all the burners. So this experience I hadn't had with, you know, usually they're like, they don't want your dust around, but that place like welcomes you. They have a compressor out on the front steps. They're like, before you come in, we blow you off. Big sign. Absolutely no dust in the casinos.
That's new.
Yeah, so they have a person outside with a compressor that'll blow you off. It's really funny.
That must be nice.
That must feel good.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's cool pool parties. That was fun. And then I made my way back for a couple days.
And the showers there are awesome.
Yeah, and then I think once you're back, wherever you're from, once you're finally back, I think you need like another 3.5 to 4 days to just, participate in social media. Make sure that you do your part in, what you're not supposed to be doing, which is splattering Burning Man stuff all over the internet, and annoying all your friends that didn't go.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah. Hopefully,
inspiring to others.
Hopefully, our thousands of listeners can sense my sarcasm in the 4 days. Although I did take a couple days where I just stayed at home and like got caught up on Blacklist, which is already like 5 years old.
Yeah, I didn't bother you for a couple days. Oh, stuff's going on.
That's how to do it right, folks. Speaking of, anyway, all right.
We're excited next year. We're joining you. Can't wait.
All right. Well, if you have any questions, we've got a couple years under our belt at this point, so.
I mean, y'all have a lot of friends that have gone, sure, and in camps too, right? I mean,
yeah.
I heard that you have to evaporate your own pee.
No.
Oh, please give me the top 3 rumors. Evaporate your own.
That's definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Don't evaporate your own pee because you have to drink it. So that one's out of the way.
Okay.
Wow.
Jack, what else?
Well, the main one, there's no money.
Like barter system.
Yeah.
There is no money. Well, the only money that you spend is on ice. That's a really good thing about Burning Man. You get there and you do not spend any money. I spent $20 each year on ice.
Wow. On ice, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, at least a bag or 2 a day you want to do. Yeah. And coffee. I think they have one place that sells coffee. It's run by Burning Man.
There's coffee, but there's also places that have coffee. I stayed in a camp that it's Scar Butts, and you get spanking and a coffee in the morning. They also have pancakes next door. I mean, you can eat whatever.
Oh, yeah. And they're closed on Saturday. Note to everybody. I waited all the way till Saturday this year to go to get my pancakes and coffee, and I showed up, and they had a big sign that gave their hours. They had put it up on a table, and 2 boxes of Pop-Tarts that they left there for anybody that showed up. But that was nice of them, right?
Yeah.
2 boxes of Pop-Tarts. And then I thought, should I really eat a Pop-Tart out of a box that's been sitting there for who knows how long outside of a camp at Burning Man?
I think those things last forever.
Yeah.
That's forever food.
Yeah. Not real.
Armageddon stuff. You're good.
That and Twinkies. Well, anyway,
Twinkies, right?
if you go next year, that would be awesome if y'all can go. And
We'll be there for sure.
you'll get to do lots of, gigs and stuff, and probably a few that you won't be able to find as well. And that's pretty awesome. I learned that this year. This year was the first year I went, and I actually couldn't find the gig like anywhere. And then, so I'm looking, and I knew everybody else that was on the lineup. So I'm looking. There's like spotty phone service, so we're trying to message each other, but it wouldn't go through. And then like 2 days later, I was with a few of those people doing a different show, and we're all like, so what happened Monday night, man? They're like, I couldn't find you anywhere. And I'm like, I couldn't find you. And they're like, I couldn't find you. And then the dude that had the art card that we're supposed to play on, he finally shows up and he's like, oh, hey, everybody. Really sorry. Like, we had a breakdown and we weren't able to get in on time. So we actually weren't anywhere.
Oh, no way.
No.
Yeah. But, they meant well. It just happened.
Yeah.
It happens, especially early in the week, like a Monday thing, because that's like opening night, basically.
Yeah.
So all kinds of stuff can happen at that point. But anyway. All right. Well, cool. Journey on. Would y'all drive there or would you fly there? Or have you thought about that yet?
I think we would fly into LA and then, ride with one of you.
We're going to ride with you next year.
Yeah. We're all going to Bishop.
We're all going. Sounds like I got 4 people. That's awesome because
we're all stopping in Bishop and going in the pool and going to Shatz.
All right.
You more than
for
welcome.
donuts.
You are more than welcome to ride, and I have a 4-seat truck. And in fact, you're helping me out because as a person who brings a truck to Burning Man, one of my responsibilities is supposed to be to bring any, some camp stuff with me. So technically, y'all would count as camp stuff.
Yeah.
We're in.
Yeah.
You got us.
All right. Well, that's one thing out of the list of 200 I don't have to think about.
So it's that or a helicopter?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, or parachuting in. That would be great.
Well, did y'all hear anything about any of the shenanigans? I mean, I'm sure you're familiar. You've heard of these, like, they call them plug and play camps, this kind of stuff. You heard of any of that stuff and those sort of arguments? Do you have any opinions on that kind of stuff? Like, I don't really care. Like, who cares if they go?
I don't care if they go.
You really care if somebody out of 80,000 people, like, do y'all as music lovers and art lovers and people lovers, like, do you really care if there's a group of 200 people that want to go to Burning Man and basically don't work at all? If that's the case, I don't even know if that's the truth, but that's what that's the myth, is that there's some camps out there that, they have their 200 or 300 people. They basically, everything's done for them. They fly into Black Rock City Airport and they kind of stay to themselves all week and then they leave. But what do you care?
What's the harm in somebody actually listening to, the music or doing Burning Man and maybe taking something away from it? They've already got people that are going to clean up after them. So, Burning Man doesn't have to take care of that. But if they actually participate or, meet some of the people and hug people, I mean, when I walked in, I probably would have had a juice shirt on if I didn't have somebody to tell me about that, to not do that, So I think that, everybody learns and takes away something from Burning Man, so why not have them there? It's fine. They're not bothering us. I mean, they're on a Segway. They're gone. Who cares?
Segway.
I refuse to get into the social media debates on this, so I can only talk about it here.
Yeah, I feel like you probably if you do that, you're missing the essence of Burning Man and what it's supposed to be about, community. And so I think you probably sort of missed that integral kind of piece of what the experience is supposed to be. But if you want to go, that's what you want your experience to be. You don't want to go there and work. You have enough money to go and do that, whatever.
Yeah, if you don't want that experience, then whatever. It's I can't hate on anybody for
Yeah, and the other side. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. And the other side to it, which is an argument I don't see it much, certainly in the written stuff out there, is that it's a tough thing to get out there for a week for anybody.
Yeah.
I'm already for me, I'm already kind of an outdoorsy person, a camper, and that's certainly not unique, but there's a lot of that in California, West Coast for sure. But I already have those things just as part of my life, and I enjoy learning to tie ropes or whatever it is, right? And dealing with wind and elements and stuff, right? So, a lot of folks that go out there already have that. They enjoy that stuff already. But if you flip that around and think about somebody who really isn't sure why or what Burning Man is, and then they have a friend sort of throw them into the fire and they end up out there, it's a lot to deal with, especially if you're a metropolitan or not really this seasoned out, sort of outdoorsy, woodsy, festival goer kind of person. And so the flip side, I think, for some of those camps is I'm sure there's some people in every camp that are wankers, but fine, don't be around them. But I think in any camp, there's also probably people that may be part of something that they just didn't know what they're getting into. And they may do it different next time. And I think my thing has always been hey, just meet whoever you meet, and they'll let you know if they're not quite getting their experience, and then maybe the next year they come with you, and do something differently. You just don't know. Yeah, I think we all probably agree on that. You just don't know. Just because someone's in a camp that that everybody says is one thing or another, you really don't know. And for me, I've only been 3 years, and I can definitely tell you this. My first year was sensory freaking overload. I'm not sure I remember anything except that I got injected and out there, into the desert, and then I was it's trying to kill me, and then I left. And I heard a lot of lights and noise, and I was that was awesome. So
he was leaving, and he says to me, he sends me a text. He's like, "Just remember one thing before you come in: the desert is trying to kill you." I was like, "Don't say that." What?
Oh my goodness! Did you guys participate in the like bartering at the temple? Do you guys do that?
I did not. I didn't. You know, the temple. I think that I saw it burn this year, so I missed that the other year. So I did go see it burn, and I won't share that whole experience. That's a very for a lot of people. You know, it ranges widely, but the temple burn is definitely a very personal and more spiritual experience out there. I think that's an interesting thing to be part of, regardless of what how you participated in the actual temple during the week and whatnot. So. Very interesting, because my first 2 years, I couldn't stay. It's kind of why I was making my general statement about 3 weeks, because the first 2 years I had a choice. I could either go early and help set up, and then be there that weekend, and then I had to leave before the next weekend because of, in both those cases, it was because of other DJ obligations, so I had to leave. And then kind of like y'all are saying about our little discussion about the plug and play camps, like I went 2 years and did that, and then I kind of decided, I really need to stay the whole time, at least once, like from before it opens, kind of helping camp, and until after, to really, personally, that's a personal thing for me, to really feel like, oh yeah, I've been to Burning Man. So maybe the third year, which was this year, is the first time I've really felt like I've really been to Burning Man.
Fully experienced it.
Yeah. And I really went to Electric Love Festival.
Yeah, you did.
I was there like so long, and people were like, "Dude, they're like, how long are you gonna be here?"
So yours is the morning.
The morning, yeah. You dropped some tracks.
The Pegboard Nerds set. That was the first year, yeah.
Oh yeah, you were with us both then.
Yeah, you came back in the morning. The Pegboard Nerds. Alex.
This year I came back. I didn't play the Pegboard Nerds, and y'all were going crazy, and that was fun. Yeah.
Alex is funny, man. It was his birthday, though, so he was allowed to go. He went pretty hard. His birthday. Absolutely.
It was. Wow. I think he was playing songs off your USB sticks.
Yeah, he's having a little trouble with the beat matching at that point. But whatever. Hey, it's his birthday. He had fun.
Everything's acceptable at that hour. Well, then on that note, yeah, like. You ride up, if you're going to be in Charlie or whatever, and even if you're not, you could still come in, to San Diego and ride up. It's probably equally easy flight from Vancouver, and then we'll have to make sure we try to plan a place to do a tag team, or at least one set on a lineup together. So
yeah,
love that.
In the head to remember to get us all lined up for that, whether it's people or I know or whatever. Kelly.
Sure, that'd be awesome. And when are you coming to Vancouver?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I gotta figure it out. Like I'm kicking off this. I'm about to do like this Game On tour is like the old man's tour kind of thing. So it's like I shouldn't say that, but it's like for me like it's like slow and low, like I like touring. I think touring maybe to a lot of people, as we have both done, you guys and me, and Kelly's done a little in her area, is kind of like you have a sort of a theme to it, right? And then you go out, this is pretty typical, and you go out and then it's like at least 3 days a week or whatever you can cram into like some period of time, right? Whereas I'm kind of like, I want to spread it out like a date every 2 weeks,
Yeah, nice.
So I have plenty of time to for a couple things, help the promoters promote, which is
amazing.
Yeah, you're great. You are wonderful to work with on that aspect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, but to do that and to
you love the sticker from the first year on our fridge.
Yeah, I've got your Electric Love sticker on our fridge.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Nice. Yeah. But yeah, as far as Vancouver goes, so anyway, that shorter but 5 to 10 date tour is kicking off. Like I said at the beginning of this chat, in October 21st at Monarch in San Francisco, and then got LA after that. Got yet to be announced, confirmed but can't be announced date in Florida. Working on New York. It's also trying to hit cities where I've been before multiple times, and that you know, I felt like the parties were, you know, the promoters were people that I really shared good experiences with, and then also was able to, you know, stay somewhat engaged with them throughout the year. For me personally, that just ends up being a way better show, you know, like where there's a little bit more to it in terms of a relationship with the people involved. So some of those cities, then Orlando eventually, and then hopefully Atlanta, hopefully Miami. Those are the two, and maybe somewhere in Texas. But that's like the 5 to 10 that I'm thinking about. San Diego, sorry. But Vancouver, definitely, you know, there's enough over on the West Coast where that I should be able to do. But I need to catch up with you guys outside of here and learn a little bit more about what's going on in Vancouver. And I don't know, maybe we can make something happen around a time when you guys are in town and combine that. Because one of the things with this tour is I don't want it to be none of the dates are going to be, you know, all a particular style of music or genre. Like I really want it to be more involving, you know, people that I've met and know, at least to a degree, or at least someone that, you know, second to removed from me that we know well, and musically and this and that. Some of my previous experience last year and before was just, there's just so much like that gets crammed into some of these shows and dates. People end up with like 45-minute sets. I don't feel like they get to really DJ. I feel like it makes the night feel rushed, you know, like in a lot of cases in terms of a good night of music, things like that. You know, when you're talking about a medium-sized club night, like to be clear, it's like, you know, 300 to 500 people size, you know, goal. I don't know. It seems like spreading it out into 3 rooms and like 1 million people and DJing. That's not my favorite kind of show, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
Well, I'll definitely have you back for Electric Love, I hope, if you're down. But it'd be nice to see you another time, Vancouver, for that.
Well, for sure for that, but that's a ways off. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, but I would like to try something related to the game tour at a smaller venue, you know, in the city. That would be great. So I'll catch up with you.
Yeah, we got lots of good ones in Vancouver. Lots of good sound systems for sure.
And I mean, I met some promoters as well at Electric Love this year. I think there was just more, like you said, there were more people, but there was definitely more. With that, there's more artists, more. I don't know if they were managers, but representatives of people and other parties and other crews and all that. So definitely met a few, and that was cool too. So yeah.
I got a question for Kelly.
Hit it.
Yeah. What's going on with your music, and like how are you, like when are you DJing, and what kind of music are you playing? Like what are you doing over there?
Well, I just moved.
Decks on your boat?
I do. They're right here. They're right in front of me. Yeah, I've got a little bit of a setup here. I've got my MPK 25 and some CDJs. Actually, I got 3 CDJs in my mixer. I just moved here in February. Well, actually, it's been a while, but I just did a Ripecast with Space Cowboys. While everybody was at Burning Man, I was doing a Space Cowboys Ripecast, and that's got some good traction on it so far. That's on Space Cowboys SoundCloud.com/Space Cowboys. And then next up is I'm playing a show with Kyoki, I think, and which is really weird because that was like one of my first CDs that I ever got in the rave was a Kyoki Go trip, and me and a couple of neighbors were talking about it last night, and we all started singing Kyoki songs. I was like, oh wow, that just like came full circle, you know? Like, have you guys ever played with somebody that like your first introduction into the scene where you're just like, oh my god?
Yes, definitely. Yes. Yeah.
Like you play with your heroes. It's just kind of a different. It's a different vibe. So I'm very excited about that one.
We played a show. We did the Pemberton Music Festival after party this year, and Ski Tour played before us. And like I've been following Ski Tour for long before I was even started DJing, and so that was really cool. And it was the first time that I had they were supposed to have CDJs for us, and 2 hours before the set, they're like, sorry, we only have turntables. Like, the guy who brought the CDJs, he gone.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I had to play on turntables for the first time in front of, like, 500 people. And I'm literally, like, shitting myself. I was so nervous. but it ended up being fun. But yeah, it was really cool to have like Ski Tour like hand the decks off to us as someone who had been following for so long. I was like, whoa, this is really cool. And like Funk Hunters played before too. Before that, it was cool to be like in the lineup, like you're saying, with people who you've like looked up to and followed them.
And freestylers too.
Freestylers, yeah.
Good.
Freestylers. What about you, Wes? Who's the one that you played with where you're just like, holy crap? Oh, there.
Did you see my Kyoki image? That was for anybody that doesn't remember that one.
What?
I put a Kyoki image up there. I shared it real quick.
No. Oh, no, you're not. Oh, wait, hold on. You're there. Oh, yeah, Superstar DJ Kyoki. I need my space.
Yeah, that wasn't his first album, but it was definitely back there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, the ones I had were Ego Trip and Alter Ego Trip. So I thought that was a cool concept, too, that, you know, he had kind of changed that around and just did the same thing, but it was remixes, you know.
That's very Agent 137 of him.
Yeah. So when you started DJing, did you learn on CDJs then? So that was the first time you played on turntables?
No, I learned on a controller, on a DDJ SX.
Okay.
The Pioneer controller. And then after that, we graduated to the SZ, and now we're on CDJs. And like I'd played on turntables before, but like, you know, in like my friend's apartment kind of thing.
Yeah.
Never like maybe twice, like 2 or 3 times. But I was more worried about the touch. Like, you know that I can DJ, but I was just worried about touching vinyl and adjusting, and you know, so it's hard to get used to that. And we were using like somebody else's slip mats and like their needles and everything, so it was, it was interesting. It was good though. It was fine. I think my first mix was a little shaky, but after that I adjusted and it was totally fine. But yeah, it was very nerve-wracking for me.
I learned on CDJs, and that same thing happened to me. I was kind of thrown into Wes is holding up turntable.
For anybody listening that doesn't know what a turntable is,
there's a turntable.
Is that what it looks like?
There's a turntable.
Is that what it looks like, old man?
That's what it looks like with my head on it, spinning.
Woo! Got his own control vinyl. What? But I was thrown into it too, and I just remember I was so nervous, you know, to put the needle on, and like my hand was shaking. I was like, I mean, because it's just, I mean, at the time that you learn, you know, you learned on a controller. It's the time that you came into, you know. We always talk about, you know, technology and embracing the technology, and it's just funny how some people just don't let go of the turntables at all. Yeah. And Wes has turntables. He has CDJs. He has a controller, and he does Ableton too. So I think it's important.
It is hard to let go of. But even I used to spin. It was, I mean, our only option was wax back in the day. And then when Serato came in, I fought it for so long, like years. Everyone was on Serato. I'm like, no, I'm wax.
Yeah.
And finally, it's just like, fuck. Like, I can't carry around so many records, you know, and I can't have songs I want. And do I want to pay $20 a song?
It's like,
no.
We're getting old, man.
Yeah, my back.
What are you doing?
Well, fortunately, for my 2 cents, fortunately for me, like I've always been into the making music or DJing as a DJ. You know, when I DJ with my DJ hat on, like it's always been to be a DJ for me, which in a sense is to, you know, I don't care what the tools are, is to just play music. Hopefully I enjoy, and then have people dance and party and feel like they, you know, had a good time for their hard-earned money. You know, that's just how I've always seen it. So like, fortunately for me, at least in my eyes, that's how I've always seen it. So like, as all these things have gone by, all these different technologies you've talked about, you know, I haven't had heartburn over any of them coming and going. It's not like, you know, I just haven't gotten upset about being a turntable DJ, you know?
Yeah.
Because there are, as we all know, like there's some people that feel like music should end if it's not played on a turntable and a vinyl record.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, that's insane. If you're making people dance, however you do it, whatever.
I think everybody has their own craft and their own like creative twist to whatever they do, and I can see like, you know, the what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I think like turntablism is like a whole entity in itself, and it like takes a lot of skill to do for sure. But I just think that however you do it, like if you're not if you're not spinning on vinyl, then maybe you're putting more effects into it when you're using more digital outlets or whatever. So,
But even
oh, look at that.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, if your craft, if the reason you're going to perform is strictly based on the thing you're using, then totally it makes sense. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, like if people know you for being a great guitar soloist, you're not going to go and play drums. I get that. So,
Yeah.
you know, Kubert, you know, needs a 1200 to do what he needs to do. So all good.
Or the UFO. Don't forget about the UFO, Kubert.
Or the UFO.
He brought that to one of our shows.
Yeah, for those of us that are where the focus is more making sure that the music we enjoy is put together in a way that we believe people coming out will enjoy, that's not a requirement. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Totally with you on that. Is that your third beer? Is that your third
even A-Track, you know, one of the greatest turntables in the world. He'll still rock CDJs, still plays Serato, but, you know, he can also rock the records, like, whatever, you know.
Yeah. Or, like, here in Ibiza, like, you see, like, Carl Cox is, like, the poster child of Ibiza, and you'll see him, like one day he'll be using Serato, and the next day he'll just be on CDJs, and then he'll be on turntables, and he'll be like...
First time I saw Carl Cox, it was all vinyl, and it doesn't matter, like, you do what you do, like, you know, I don't know.
Have you ever watched that documentary? I'm sure there's several, but the one where he himself talks about growing up in Ibiza, like club life growing up as a teenager. If you're a fan of Carl Cox, you got to find that. It's free on YouTube. It's about an hour long, and it's a documentary, but it's primarily focused around him and his career, but centric to his Ibiza experience. There's some crazy facts in there that I had no idea about, and I've been a fan of his for a while. But you know, he got his start. Apparently, I'm sure I get some of this wrong, but what I recollect was he got a lot of his start in Ibiza was just going there, like from the UK, that he and his cousins and friends, whatever, would go sleep in the car, you know, and dance at clubs. That's how they would get in for free because they had no money, and that's how he started meeting people. And then when he started DJing, he just knew these people like way before Ibiza was a thing. And so I was like the dancer kid, you know, like, and so then
I did not know that.
Yeah, he explains it all like himself in person, not like a third party. Yeah.
That's like one thing that Josh and I always talk about. We call it show face. And we think it's like so important just to always be out there and connecting with people and talking to people because it's like, you know, you never know what's going to transpire from that. And that's not the reason why you do it, but it's just like, it's so important to be there and to be present. And, you know, you can have your presence online and through social media, but when you make those real connections, like us with you, it's through those human interactions and something that is like so important. It's like a lost art almost, but it's something that's like so integral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you can supplement, you know, afterwards.
Someone one time in my history, they referred to it as a barbecue test. Like, you know, like people you would hang out with at a barbecue or invite to your house for a barbecue. Like if you can establish those kinds of relationships with people naturally, then they'll probably last quite a long time. You know, maybe your whole life if you meet those types of people and then spend your time with those types of people. There may be other great types of people as well, but maybe they don't jive with you as much, right? And what you believe and all your things. So anyway, but I think, there's a lot of truth to that. And those are good. Those are definitely good tips to anybody, you know, trying to carve their way on the music and DJ world. Because really, like y'all said, there's a lot of people making great music, right? I mean, it's just getting easier. You know, like before long, you're probably going to be able to like just
do it with our mind. You just think about it.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably it's probably gonna be like iTunes, you know, the Genius thing, and you probably put in 20 songs that sound like Daft Punk, and it spits you out a new one that's original. I don't know, but you know, at some point that's going to happen, and you know, none of us on this call are going to be able to, maybe wouldn't even want to, but are going to be able to stop that from happening when it happens. But a big difference, like you said, is in fact, you know, it's really hard to sort of technologically automate meeting people in person and just all the sort of chemical reactions that go on, you know, through a hug or whatever, right? Like that's the piece that's there that you can't sort of have someone else do for you.
Yeah.
Right? So
Totally.
showing up and playing your music as well. So
And that will never change, of course, right?
yeah, I don't think so. I mean, there's going to be ways to automate things. I think people are always going to want to go. You know, even if you show up and you use, you know, everything's on a beat grid and it's all synced and all that stuff, I still think people want to go and see somebody physically in the room.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Like, I don't think, like, a hologram might be cool, but I don't think that's going to do the trick.
That's where we met.
You're like, I want to feel your pheromones, man.
We met at the hologram, the Tupac hologram.
Yeah, that's where we met at Coachella.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, there's a lot of cool applications for VR and holograms and all that kind of stuff.
Japan's gonna have the first robot DJ for sure. Yeah, definitely gonna be Japan.
But it would be a long shot for me to say that I would ever enjoy as much, you know, a set from someone who's not in the room. I would much more enjoy it who is in the room and you could actually meet them and whatever.
Yeah.
Good old things like that. Well, so. Well, on that note, my friends, I actually have to get some shit done today, and my computer battery just went to red.
Yeah.
We're really busy.
We're really busy. We got a fixed schedule ahead of us.
Before we go, are there any flyers or things like that? I'm kind of curious like how they promote in Ibiza. Like, what is?
Here's one right here.
Here's one. This we're going to tomorrow.
I want to see kind of the way they do things.
The other side has to be
Okay, other side.
Yeah. There you go.
He's like,
It's like
Yeah,
a daytime thing tomorrow.
oh.
that's cool. So it's not outlandish. Yeah, cool. I mean, it's not like what have you seen or in your short bit of time there? I mean, is it like at least looking behind you doesn't look like there's crazy like lights and helicopters flying around with LED.
No, the billboard. The billboard.
There's planes, but the planes come in like every 10 minutes, and it's like, like I think like 3 of them.
In the interview alone, 3 or 4, but in the daytime,
Yeah.
endless. But the billboards here, every single billboard is like a huge rave flyer. Every one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it is that crazy in that sense.
And there's like stickers everywhere. Like we brought a huge stack of stickers, and usually in Vancouver we'll like put stickers out. We have to kind of be discreet about it. We're like
Oh yeah.
But here it's just like there's like places
Everywhere.
made for it. It's just like a sticker barrage of like self-promoting DJs.
Yeah. So you see that AG all over Ibiza now.
I love it. They're all over my trailer
Yes.
And your neck.
and my neck. That's my prize bandana. I've got a funny one. To show you. Wait for it. I'm gonna send this one to Kelly.
We might go see Fatboy Slim tonight too. We're debating.
Well, that could be fun. Were you fans of him? You know, in his sort of more prolific album years.
Yeah, I'd say like Fatboy, Prodigy, Daft Punk, Chemical Brothers definitely were the ones when I was, young. Definitely all my true inspirations into the electronic world for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get that link, Kelly? Were you able to see it?
Uh-huh.
This is what we have in San Diego.
Ew. Can you see it?
What was that?
No.
We saw a flash of it.
Yeah, leave it up there. Leave it up there longer.
Wes is in the way.
Oh, there it is. Ew.
Oh, is that gum?
gum?
Oh, that's like Seattle. The gum wall in Seattle is crazy. Have you guys been to the gum wall in Seattle?
I am.
No.
Yeah, there's an actual gum wall.
Yeah,
it's like an alley.
It's an alley.
It's a full
just
alley
gum
of all gum.
on this wall. It's nuts.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, we just have this one pole here at Pacific Beach, and it made the news recently, so I thought of it when you were talking about putting stickers everywhere.
Yes.
Well, no, you don't know because I'm about to tell you, but the reason I started making yo-yos and other things was because for forever I've made stickers, and I really enjoyed doing that. But like you were saying, Danny, I've had times now more frequently than not where I'm not allowed to bring them into the nightclub, even if I'm playing. Yeah.
We've been told the same,
Yeah.
These huge ones made that are like this big.
Yeah, massive.
So I'm gonna start. Well, no. So that's why I started making, glow sticks, which are maybe equally as annoying, but don't stick to things. And
Yo-yos.
Yo-yos, I would have to say, were the favorite so far. That's the
I
favorite.
love your yo-yos.
Yeah.
Although I realized how much I suck at yo-yoing since you gave me one.
No, when you gave it to us, he was so bad at it. He's like, "Is this a regulation yo-yo?"
This is our Venice Beach one.
Yeah, dude, it's totally weighted. Yeah, it's weighted and everything. Oh, your gum wall?
No,
No, the sticker we put on
Go
Venice.
closer, you can't see.
Oh, nice. Holy shit. What
See
is
how
that?
big that one is?
What is that, like 2 feet?
Damn.
Yeah, we're like, okay.
We had to
can
hit
do
it.
this.
We had to hit it.
It's huge. It's
Where
like,
is that?
Venice.
it's in Venice Beach the last time we were there. But you know those, like, when you walk into like a 7-Eleven or like a convenience store and there's like decals on the floor, like floor decals that'll be like advertising like gum or like a credit card company or something. And they're like these huge like vinyl. Are they vinyl?
Yeah, I kind of like a vinyl. So we got massive AG ones made.
It'll probably be there. It'll probably be there like 5 years from now.
Well,
Yeah,
people
it's
paint
painted
over it every
over.
day, but they actually painted around it. They, gave a little respect to it, so that's cool.
If it's cool, I was just about to say, if it's cool, even other sticker bombers and spammers will respect it. There's stickers. I have some stickers that are like on lamp poles and stuff in New York when I used to live there in Lower East Side. And I mean, those things were everywhere. So many have been covered, but there's definitely a few where like people have stickered all around it. Like nobody messes with it. It's so funny. It's almost like people recognize it as having been there so long, they just leave it.
Yeah.
Don't mess with it.
Yeah, because it's been there. Plus it's looking at it like that.
Yes.
You need all that business. All right. Well, seriously, this time now I don't have a power cord for I just moved my studio. This you would not know, but I actually I had a pretty nice place in the garage, and that was really cool. But I needed more space and air conditioning and things like that. So I finally stepped up to Big Boy League and actually have a spot that's not in my home. So in any case, that's where I am, and I'm not quite set up yet. I just moved like in between Burning Man.
Oh wow.
It's nice to have that.
So it's a total mess. But anyway, if I don't wrap up this call at some point here in the next like 3 minutes, I'm probably just gonna go off dead battery anyway.
Get a rude cut.
So I'm warning you. I'll just talk.
All right,
I'll talk until then, but I'm warning you. I was gonna ask you one more thing that I want to know before you go.
See? One more. Just one more.
One more.
No,
40 seconds.
3,
Stop.
2.
man, I don't know. Somebody say something else. Give me 30. Give me like a minute to think of whatever it
Hey,
was.
hey, would you like me to do a needle drop with Wes?
Yes.
I'm gonna do a needle drop while you
Oh,
think
do
about
that.
it.
Easy 137 needle drop coming up. She's gonna play. We get some promos. Kelly picks some she likes. Do it.
Okay.
And I'll
All
think-
right. All right. The first one is called "I Want," and it is from Gigabeat. It's one of the promos that Gigabeat sends to Wes Smith, and I particularly like the BBK and EKI remix. And if it's Iki, I'm sorry. And it's featuring Vice Royale. Oh, sorry.
Woo! There's Canadians on the call. It's okay if we mispronounce it.
Okay. I can just go through it there. Yeah, I like that one. And then the next one is called "In Beat We Trust," and Wes on there, but I picked the 601 remix on that because I feel like it's a little.
I like it better.
I don't like. I like it, and I don't think it's fair to put a Wes Smith song on the Wes Smith show. So here we go.
There's no requirement to like anything I do to work with me and be my friend.
cool roll.
Yeah, it's pretty grimy.
Definitely got that grimy roll.
And that is in Beats We Trust, and that one was the 601 remix. I've not heard of 601 before, so I was digging that one. But there's like 5 remixes out for that one, and all of them are really good.
604.
That's George and who's the other half of 601?
Oh, is that George Miller?
Yeah.
All right. They're not doing anything together anymore. At least that's what Facebook said yesterday.
But we're gonna have at least George on soon to chat about life and genres and all that stuff.
Do you have other windows open? Because it's getting kind of glitchy. Do you remember what you were gonna say?
Not me. I was like, we're gonna have George on soon. Hey, do you have another needle drop? Hello? I totally remembered my. Hey, Josh,
one right.
I don't know. Maybe it's your thing.
I can hear now.
Okay.
You guys hear?
Can you hear me? Because my question that I was trying to think of was, how excited is everybody that Beatport changed their genres?
When did that? Did they finally? When did that happen? I'm so excited.
Well, they didn't.
They didn't mean.
There's like this huge announcement, so I go look,
Yeah.
and it's like I think they added Future House, and maybe that's it.
Wow. False.
This is the future.
The future.
I think they need to add a few more than that. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, somebody messed up this week. Pretty
It's
sure.
cool, though. It's cool. You got to know your shit, right? Then it keeps, that weaves it out. You got to know your shit. You got to know what you're searching for.
Yeah.
You know what would be super cool? Suggestion, not that I expect anyone at Beatport to really listen if they heard it or do it, but it would be super cool if they had the technical term of folksonomy, just letting people make their own tags. And it'd be fine, keep their genre system, whatever, no big deal. But it would definitely be cool if they had a way to let people make their own tags, kind of like you would do once you download it anyway and put it in your collection or whatever. And then just kind of, then people would be able to shop, like by a little bit more of like the collective classificationing, Beatport's opinion.
Yeah, I dig it, for sure. Something like that.
That would be
cool.
really good.
It's the same idea with hashtag. I mean, it's hashtagging Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Same idea there. But it would just automatically, like if you and I thought it was G House, fine, we put in G House. And then if I know that, I like what Average-Gypsy thinks is G House, and it's easy for me to go find what they think is G House. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Crazy the way it is now.
If you want to find G House, it's a new disco. That's your only option.
Yeah. You have to be like you have to be like this or some shit to be able to find like whatever it is and parallel the genres over the last 10 years and now become. Just go find spinning records. That's every category. All right, kids, I got to get out of here. Do you have anything remaining as we exit, my dear Average-Gypsy friends? Any final parting notes?
Just, thanks for having us, for sure. And I'd like to give a shout out to Epitomic. Everybody out there needs to check out these boys from Vancouver.
Yeah.
They're up and comers, and these guys are really killing it. So please, Epitomic, check them out.
Really talented producer.
Yeah, these guys are awesome. And just, thanks for this. This last 2 hours have been fucking rad.
Yeah.
Yay! Go for it. Have fun in Ibiza.
I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad we have things like this, where we can sort of
it's really cool. I didn't even know
hold our personal relationships over until we meet in person again.
Totally.
Which will
So
be
I want
soon.
to feel your pheromones.
Get your hugs.
I want to ride that boat in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Stay classy.
Yeah.
Space Vector, yeah.
Oh, there he is. Look, he's right here. Hey.
Have fun in Ibiza. Bye.
Oh, I'm a love cat. I love cats.
Bye.
Oh.
All right.